I guess by now you've noted that I love aviation. I'm passionate about flight and the adventures that it can provide to us as pilots. It's quite a powerful legal drug, but it has its risks that you will understand. But because it has risks, just like getting out of bed, we can enjoy flight as long as we are careful to mitigate as best we're able the inherent risk. A few weeks ago I'd planned a flight from our home base at Murray Bridge to head southeast to the lowest point of the Australian mainland and then across Bass Strait, over King Island and then further south to the northern section of Tasmania, our largest island. It's a trip of about 500 miles and should have taken us about 5 hours to complete. Sadly, the trip had to be cancelled due to family and weather issues, but I thought it would be great to share the plans with you in this short video. So it's all about what we plan to take with us on the journey. And the question is, what do I take with me should we experience a possible event that will require us to land outside of an airport? Even a water landing as we cross Bass Strait, should we experience an unlikely engine failure. So what did we take? I chose this bag of small but excellent survival items. I never leave home without them. So we never leave home without a grab bag. The grab bag, just a normal shopping bag. But I never leave home without it because there's always going to be something you need when you leave home or leave your home base. So this is an array of the things that I always carry in the grab bag. It's in the cabinet, in the hangar. 30 seconds is in the back of the aircraft. It weighs 3 or 4 kilos, but has saved my bacon on so many occasions. So the contents can include things like a hammer. Hammer's most important. Naturally, we never leave home without a couple of litres of water, and the rest you can see as we go through them today. In addition to this, if I'm going for longer distances, then obviously I take more things just as a matter of safety and security. One thing that I think many pilots don't think about is the battery, the electricals. So I always carry this device. They're only $50, $60 on eBay, but they are magic. You can start a completely flat battery with one of these in an instant. You can charge them while you're flying, they'll start your car, they can start anything. So whatever you do, think about getting yourself one of these. Most important, jump start, quick starts. So what other additions can you think of that we might need as we cross water and fly quite a distance away from home? You know, our trip today is going to be about 500 miles. So in addition, I've added a few more bits and pieces that we'd think about. Obviously, several different sizes, spanners and screwdrivers. I have a very small jack, but very efficient jack. A stand, once the wheel's off, if you need to change a tyre, you need to jack it up and hold it. So we have a first aid kit. I always pack in a poncho. You never know when it's going to be caught raining, so better to have something to protect you. Sets of sockets, sets of spanners, obviously a cap. Sunburn is not a good thing. I also have added recently a couple of high-vis vests. They're dirt cheap, but nevertheless, if someone's looking for you, then a bright orange is going to stand out a lot easier than a dark colour. And finally, because we're going over water, we'll be looking to make sure that we wear our inflatable life jackets. Not much good having life jackets that are already pre-inflated. You need these, this style, to make sure that once you exit the aircraft, then you can inflate. Otherwise, if they're inflated, you have no one of getting out of the aircraft at all. So, other simple things like I carry just a lid off of a degreaser tin. Why? Because once we're outside and on the ground in grass or whatever, we have to do unscrew nuts and bolts. We're going to lose them, and there's nothing worse than losing nuts and bolts when you need them most, so we have a lid. So that's the sort of thing that I always carry with me, no matter what, on a longer distance. And maybe you'd like to add your thoughts as to what else we could carry for this trip to Tasmania. I look forward to hearing from you. Take care. Enjoy. The only item I omitted to show in the grab bag was the tie-down kit. Now, there are many different types available, from a simple doggy-style screw to multiple arms in a star formation. And it's not for me to advise what works or is best, but let me say that you need to test a tie-down in varying soil conditions. Loamy soil will be easy to insert the peg, so when the wind comes, they can be pulled out quite easily. Remember, a plane always wants to fly if there's wind available. Over the years, I've tried many different types, and each has its own merits.
But in the end, I found for my flying the best overall is just a cut down star dropper with a D-shackle. Many years ago we flew to the Avalon Air Show. The aircraft was securely tied down, but one afternoon a sudden and short microsystem blew through and destroyed several aircraft, including the one we'd taken. They were literally lifted off the ground, broken free of the tie downs and were smashed. So the moral of this week's story, be prepared. Think ahead and make sure you have on board the basic survival equipment you think you will need should the unfortunate happen. In the meantime, enjoy. But before I go, one important reminder. I publish a monthly flying newsletter for all budding aviators. Every issue gives hints and tips for aviation, and it's free. So to subscribe, just click on the link below and enjoy.